Kirk Williamson has been involved in alternative print media in Chicago for almost 25 years, starting at Gab magazine and moving on to Windy City Times, where he worked for almost 20 years until the world got a bad cold and the paper stopped being a paper. In his time at Windy City, Kirk served as the editor, principal photographer, and the everything else of the queer bar rag Night Spots, a publication proudly devoted to, in his words, drinking and fucking. Kirk moved on to the art department at the Chicago Reader in 2020 and has earned his spot in Chicago's LGBTQ Hall of Fame in 2021 due to his work on all that drinking and fucking. Yeah. Well then, Kirk, how does it feel?
When I first heard the prompt, how does it feel, my mind automatically went to America's greatest singer, songwriter, storyteller, Joni Mitchell. Arriving in the world in 1974, much like myself, Joni's album Court and Spark spun the confrontation of devastating emotion into lyrical gold. I first became aware of this album in 1987 from a reference in the song on Prince's Sign of the Times, another top 5 record for me. I never fully digested it until after college, when the flailing of this fledgling adult in an uncertain world began in earnest. I took refuge in the 4th track on the album, People's Parties. In it, Joni finds herself in another chorus of forced smiles and practiced banter at yet another urbane cocktail party. She encounters characters who illustrate the frailty of the human ego and lengths to which we all go to overcome, to connect, to validate our inner voice. I was in my 20s and hopping from party to party and scene to scene, hoping to meet people who would accept me, not the least of whom was myself. Without confidence or confirmation, I sought connection. Joni's character in the song sought the same connection, convinced she did not belong amongst those with stamps of many countries and passport files. Slowly, silently though, she began to see behind the masks of the other guests, realizing that every partygoer, from Jack behind his Joker to Stone Cold Grace behind her fan, felt the same twinge of alienation. And as I prepared my mask each weekend night, I would listen to People's Parties, and I felt grounded, validated. It gave me the strength to see that everyone else was just as scared as me. And everyone else clutched at the terrifying prospect of being seen. And everyone else, all the people at this party, keeping the sadness at bay, throwing the lightness on these things, laughing it all away.